It's springtime, and it's that time of year where I need to go out in my front yard and my backyard, and I need to trim my crepe myrtles. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out and I chop off pretty much all the limbs. But because I prune those trees, new blossoms grow. Those branches will grow and they'll produce beautiful white blooms. Now, the branches that are connected to the tree, they grow. But the ones that I cut off, they wither and die. In John chapter 15, Jesus wanted his disciples to understand that as long as they're connected to him, they can experience a satisfied and nourished life. They won't be like the limbs from the crepe myrtle withering and dying on the ground, but they'll be like the limbs connected to the tree that produce beautiful blossoms. In John chapter 15, Jesus uses imagery that is so powerful and it communicates to us how that we can be satisfied every day, regardless of what we may face. Jesus teaches us that he is the source of a satisfied life. As the true vine to the branches, Jesus is the source of life to his followers. In John 15, verses 1 through 3, Jesus talking to his disciples, he said, "I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine dresser. Every branch in me that does not bear fruit, he takes away, and every branch that bears fruit, he prunes, that it may bear more fruit. You're already clean because of the word which I've spoken to you." Jesus declares that he is the true vine. He declares that he is the one source for true life, for nourishment for every soul. And the second thing he teaches is to be satisfied in life, we must live intimately connected to him. Now, this is so important for the disciples. They're getting ready to see Jesus crucified on a cross. And so Jesus wants them to understand that even after his crucifixion, leading up, even in those dark days leading up to his resurrection, they can find nourishment for their soul and satisfaction in life because they're connected to him by faith. The theme of this passage is abide. In John 15, verse 4, it says, "Abide in me, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself unless it abides in the vine, neither can you unless you abide in me. I am the vine. You are the branches." The key to a nourished and satisfied life is an abiding relationship with Jesus. To abide means that we set our roots down into the soil of Jesus every day, that we remain intimately connected to him so that he surrounds us and we immerse ourselves in him. Apart from Jesus, we can do nothing, but with him, we are satisfied completely. And Jesus is the source of a satisfied life. And to be satisfied in life, we must immerse ourselves in intimate connection with him. And when we do, we find soul-satisfying love. When we're intimately connected to Jesus, he satisfies our soul with the love that comes from God. Verse 9, "As the Father has loved me," Jesus said, "I also have loved you. Abide in my love." The love of the Father is planted into our hearts through Jesus. We taste satisfying comfort and joy when Jesus grips our hearts with his soul-satisfying love. Each day we live in concert with Jesus, we find our hearts wrapped in love so that our souls are completely satisfied. We find soul-satisfying love. We find soul-satisfying joy. When we abide in Jesus, then we will be satisfied with inexpressible joy. In verse 11, he says, "These things I've spoken to you, that my joy might remain in you, and your joy might be full." What he's saying is, you can have satisfaction regardless of the circumstances or pain that envelops the seasons of your life. We find joy when we embrace and savor this lifestyle of love that Jesus has revealed to us, receiving love from him through his death on the cross and his resurrection from the dead. We have a new way of living and loving, and we love others the way he has loved us. We find soul-satisfying love and soul-satisfying joy, and we can have soul-satisfying relationships. When Jesus is the model for our relationships, we will love others the way he has loved us, and that produces satisfying relationships for us and for others. Look at verses 12 and 13. "This is my commandment," Jesus said, "that you love one another as I have loved you. Greater love is no one than this, than to lay down his life for his friends. Jesus loved with passion, and he was committed to fulfill the mandate of his passionate love. That led him to the cross to die in the place of sinners for their salvation. It leads us to love others the way Jesus has loved, to live in a life of sacrifice and self-giving. It is this love that we display to others that produces strong foundations for every relationship. In the final days of Christ's life on earth, he prepared his disciples for the challenges and crippling chaos they were about to face. He gives us soul-satisfying help through his words to us. The key, abide. When we abide in Jesus, when we remain intimately connected to him, we are satisfied. Today, as we march into the unknown of this moment and the moments to come, we have the promise of Jesus that our soul will be satisfied when we are connected intimately with him. Connect to Jesus today and stay connected through obedience, and you will be satisfied.